In 1947 zou er in de woestijn een vliegende schotel zijn neergestort. Geheime agenten zouden de lijkjes van buitenaardse wezens in beslag hebben genomen, beweren ze in Roswell. Ze verdienen daar namelijk uitstekend aan de toeristen. Die geloven in het verhaal van de UFO en blijven tot op heden toestromen in de woestijn van New Mexico om te zien of er nog iets van over is van dat mysterie. Klaartje Jonge en Art Rooijakkers gingen op zoek naar de waarheid in Roswell.
They said Sakhalin was safe. That we could win in Vietnam. And there would be no new taxes. For 47 years, they said nothing happened at Roswell. Nothing at all.
This thing was big. I know what I saw. I held up my goddamn hand.
Roswell, the Showtime original movie about an incident they said never happened. Roswell, a place, an experience, a mystery based on actual events.
Oh yeah, it's a mystery of the century, yeah. That's how often does something out of outer space come down to Earth?
Well, I don't know. It may be like we're curious about Mars. We're curious about the moon. Maybe they're curious about us.
New Mexico in het zuiden van de Verenigde Staten. We zijn op weg naar Roswell, waar in 1947 volgens de overlevering een vliegende schotel is neergestort. En daarmee werd Roswell de moeder aller UFO-mysteries.
Good afternoon. I am Bruce Rhodes. I will be your guide the next couple of days as we go to the most important places that were involved in the 1947 crash of a UFO vehicle in New Mexico.
The American Broadcasting Company and affiliated stations present Headline Edition with Taylor Grant. Today's edition presents a roundup of the latest developments in the finding of a flying disc.
Late this afternoon, a bulletin from New Mexico suggested that the widely publicized mystery of the flying saucers may soon be solved. Army Air Force officers reported that one of the strange discs had been found and inspected sometime last week.
Zomer 1947. Er heerst een heuse UFO-mania in de Verenigde Staten. En met deze berichten krijgen de Amerikanen eindelijk het nieuws dat ze willen horen. Er is een vliegende schotel neergestort. Het lijkt een wens die in vervulling gaat.
I'm taking you up to near the Ragsdale site, where Mr. Ragsdale and his girlfriend were camped out up there the night of that weekend of July 4th in 1947. They were up there about 11:30 at night, having been down to the dance at the Lodge building, and they saw a big flash of light up the northwest of them. In a few minutes, just a few minutes, the craft came to rest about 60 yards from where they were camped.
It's not a really good road.
No, it's not, and this is the good part of it.
Joe Wilson reports to us now from Chicago. The Army may be getting to the bottom of all this talk about the so-called flying saucer. As a matter of fact, the 509th Atomic Bomb Group headquarters at Roswell, New Mexico, reports that it has received one of the discs which landed on a ranch outside Roswell. The disc landed at a ranch at Corona, New Mexico, and the rancher turned it over to the Air Force. Rancher W.W. Brazil was the man who discovered the saucer.
Well, our neighbor brought a scrap of debris over and showed it to us that he had found out in the pasture, and he thought it was, well, we all thought it was part of a UFO, or flying saucer as we called them.
Loretta Proctor, met haar 86 jaar, een van de weinig nog levende ooggetuigen. Buurvrouw van de cowboy die wrakstukken van een neergestorte UFO vond op zijn landgoed vlakbij Corona. Want, voor alle duidelijkheid, Volgens de legende zijn er 2 plaatsen waar UFO-resten zijn gevonden. In Corona en in Roswell.
Well, the Corona site is the debris site. The vehicles apparently ran together in that area, in the Corona area, and dropped off some of the debris. That's why it's called just a debris site. There was no craft there per se, no crashed vehicle, just parts of crafts that had fallen off after they'd run together, as far as we can determine.
What he brought up was a piece of material that looked like a lightweight wood, or now we'd say plastic, but back then we didn't know what plastic was. And he and my husband would try to take a knife and cut on it or try to burn it, and they couldn't. It was very, very strange material to us.
Volgens de UFO-gelovigen maakt de Amerikaanse regering van het mysterie van de eeuw de cover-up-operatie van de eeuw. Mede verantwoordelijk hiervoor is, zo zegt hij zelf, veiligheidsofficier Kaufman. Hij was verantwoordelijk voor de cover-up en hij heeft de aliens van dichtbij gezien. En nu hij weet dat hij niet meer lang te leven heeft, vindt hij het tijd om voor 1 keer het stilzwijgen te doorbreken.
We were told to go out about 35, 40 miles north of Roswell, and about 15 miles off highway west on 285, we noticed an orange glow. And after cutting some wire and getting into the area with searchlights and what have you, we noticed a craft. It was a craft of unknown origin. We didn't know what a UFO was at that time. We never heard of a UFO, say. But here was a craft of unknown origin. We knew what our planes looked like. But here was something that was just different. It was something like this model right here, say.
Because that looks kind of like a stealth bomb.
Yeah, the design actually came from there, say.
Het leger veegde de crash onder het tapijt volgens Kaufman. De wrakstukken werden opgeruimd en daarna werd domweg ontkend dat het om een UFO zou gaan. Het was een weerballon.
It was a cover-up. One of the best cover-ups you have in the world. You see, we just got through with World War II, shortly thereafter. And then we were in little problems with Korea at that time. There was unsettled reasons with Russia, say. So security measures, you know, was very tight.
So this is the crash site?
This is about as close as we can get to it today because of the weather, the snow and dirt, mud. This is where we're going to look at the actual crash site. The actual crash site, you see a big old rock out there, a big brown spot. That is a big rock about the size of a 2-story house that's very near the actual crash site. It's very near it.
Volgens de ooggetuigen probeert de Amerikaanse overheid nog steeds mensen te overtuigen dat er niets mysterieus gebeurd is. Het zou een militaire weerballon met testpoppen zijn geweest, volgens een rapport dat het Pentagon 50 jaar na de crash presenteert.
I think it's logical to assume that the people there saw Air Force ambulances come out, they saw gurneys come out, they saw body bags come out because the dummies were put into body bags to protect them.
I think it was something from outer space.
Why do you think that?
Well, at that time we just didn't have anything that could move about like some of the lights that we had seen. My dad kept a diary. When he came here in 1908, he kept a diary. And 2 or 3 places in his diary, he'd say, we saw that light again. So I think through the years, people did see things that they couldn't explain.
Waar of niet, het UFO-mysterie levert in ieder geval geld op. Voor Roswell jaarlijks ruim 12 miljoen gulden. Er zijn inmiddels maar liefst 2 UFO-musea en talloze souvenirshops. Het stadje met amper 50.000 inwoners trekt gemiddeld ruim 2000 toeristen per jaar.
Why, hello, I'm Stacy, and this is the Alien Zone. It's probably the largest alien store in the world. There's all kinds of t-shirts that glow in the dark. There's jewelry, even a deck of cards.
In 1997, we were adjudged by the state the tourist attraction of the year for the state. Anytime you bring tourists in, of course, it means money, one way or another. They stop and eat, they spend the night, they buy gasoline, they buy gifts, what have you. Yes, the economic impact is pretty big.
If that's not enough, you can even take your picture with an alien here in 20 different scenes. And as you step inside, you thought that they had lost the spaceship from 1947, but here we have our own, that you can go inside.
You're a UFO crash guide. Do you take a lot of people up here?
Yes, I do. Let's see. Last week, I was up here 4 times in 5 days. And
All with tourists?
tourists,
We've seen it on TV that this is the town where the UFOs stop over for a hamburger.
That's why you came here.
Exactly.
Are you a UFO believer?
Well, yeah, otherwise Michael Jackson would be one of us.
I think maybe I have seen, yes, over near Papua New Guinea, off the coast of Australia, off the coast of New Guinea, where I was sailing on a British cruise ship called the Star Princess in December. I think I have seen, yes.
Well, you gotta watch out for those little green men. They're okay.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, they're pretty good little guys.
Een UFO in je dorp, dat is kassa. En dat is ook wat Frank Kaufman dwars zit. De meeste inwoners van Roswell hebben er geen enkel belang bij het mysterie op te lossen. Het gaat er juist om het mysterie zoveel mogelijk uit te buiten. Door bijvoorbeeld souvenirs te verkopen, zoals poppen van aliens. En die zijn Kaufman een doorn in het oog.
Well, they didn't look any like what we see today with those slanted eyes or horny-looking fingers, you know, or anything, or horns, or anything of that nature.
This is a drawing you made of what you saw.
Yeah, this was made in 1947. Yeah.
It looks a bit like children.
Yeah, yeah, they were good-looking people.
So what exactly happened here in 47?
This is the building, the old Hangar 84, where they brought the bodies and the debris from the crash site just before they shipped it to Fort Worth, Texas, at 8th Air Force headquarters.
Would you say this is the mystery of the century?
Yes, I would. I think it is. You know, things has happened so fast in the last 50 years, they had to get the knowledge somewhere, right?
The stealth bomber design, for example, is one. The skin, making it radar-proof, see, is another. The instrumentation is another. See.
All those techniques came from?
All the techniques came from the night vision. All those things came from this craft here.
Certainly, this thing that happened in 1947 remaining unsolved for so many years now. This is 1999. We're going into the new millennium.